My neighbors and good friends, Jack and Liza, well, they got married a little later in life than usual. They fell into big love. She was 40, he was 50, and neither of them had been married before. But they had seen the realities of this sacred state up close amongst their friends. So they determined that they were going to try to work out any potential problems by planning things out in advance. So, prenuptial agreements were prepared by a lawyer over money and property. Preemptive counseling was provided by a psychologist who helped them commit to paper, well, any particular problems, potential trouble areas they wanted to avoid. So there was one item in their agreement that concerned pets and kids, item number 7. We agree that we shall have either children or pets, but not both. Jack, you see, was not enthusiastic about any kind of dependent relationship. Children, dogs, cats, hamsters, goldfish, or any other living thing that needed to be fed or watered had had no place in his life, not even houseplants, and especially not dogs. Liza, on the other hand, loved taking care of living things, especially children and dogs. Okay, but she had to choose. She chose children. Jack obliged. 2 lovely daughters in 3 years, and their marriage was sailing along smoothly. Their friends were impressed. So far, so good. When the children reached school age, Liza eagerly, enthusiastically dove into the bottomless pool of volunteerism. The school needed funds for art and music. Liza organized a major league auction to raise mucho cash for the school, and every family promised to provide an item of substantial value for this important event. Now, Liza knew a lot about dogs. She had raised dogs her whole life, the champion pedigreed kind. And it was her idea, with her expertise, that she would shop the local puppy pounds to find a bargain pooch and shape it up for the auction for her contribution. And for a minimal investment up front, she hoped to make a 10-fold profit for the school. And for a couple of days at least, there would be a dog in the house. After a month of looking, Liza found her wonder dog, the dog of great promise, a female. Soft gray fur, wide-set, deep blue eyes, tall for her age, strong, confident, and very, very, very friendly. With her practiced eye, she could see that some pretty classy genes had been accidentally mixed here. Yes, 2 purebred dogs of the highest caliber had combined to produce this exceptional animal. Probably a black Labrador and a Weimaraner, she thought. Perfect, just perfect. To those of us with untutored eye, this mutt looked more like the results of a bad blind date between a Mexican burro and a miniature muskox. The fairy dog mother went to work, purchasing dog, sent it off to the vet where it was inspected and given shots, then off to the dog groomer where it acquired a very fancy hot pink leather collar studded with rhinestones and a matching leash, a fancy bowl, a ball, and a rawhide bone. Total upfront expenses, $50 to the pound, $50 to the vet, $50 to the beauty parlor, $60 for tack and equipment, and $50 for food. A total of $260 for a mutt that's going to stay in the house for 48 hours before auction time. Once the dog is in the house, Jack took one look and paled. He smelled smoke. He wouldn't give $10 to see this mutt for 1 hour in his house. It had a long, thick rubber club of a tail, and its skinny legs with huge feet reminded him of hairy toilet plungers. And at 4 months of age, it was big enough to knock over both his daughters and bowl over the mother as well. Jack knew this was going to be one big dog, something a zoo might display. Omnivorous, it had eaten all its food in one day, left permanent teeth marks on a wooden chair leg and a leather ottoman, as well as chewing through Jack's favorite golf shoes. However, Jack is patient with all of this. After all, it is a temporary arrangement, and just 2 days, and for a good cause. He remembers their agreement. Number 7, she promised. He is safe, or so he thinks. On Thursday night, the auction gets off to a winning start. There's a huge crowd of parents in attendance, and many of the guests look flush with money, artsy decorations, buffet tables laden down with delicious gourmet potluck food, and a cornucopia of classy auction items on display. Liza is basking in her triumph. Dog comes on the auction block much earlier than planned, because when Jack went out to the car to check on Dog, found it methodically eating all the leather off the steering wheel after already having chomped numerous holes in the padded dashboard. After a little wrestling match getting Dog up into Liza's arms and onto the stage, Liza sits in a folding chair right next to the auctioneer, cradling Dog with a pensive, sad look on her face, while the auctioneer proclaims the pedigree of this exceptional animal and describes in detail all the wonderful equipment thrown in with the deal. "What am I bid for this superb animal?" he says. $100 over there, $200 on the right, $300 in the back. There is a little sniffle heard coming from the stage, picked up by the auctioneer's microphone. Liza has tears sliding down her face, which are being enthusiastically licked up by Dog. Leaning forward, still cradling Dog, and in a stage whisper, not meant for public ears, Liza calls out to her husband, "Jack, Jack, Jack, I can't sell this dog. She loves me. I love her. This is my dog. I want this dog. Jack." Every eye in the room is watching this soapy drama. Jack feels ill. He realizes that the great bowling ball of fate is hurtling down his alley at top speed. Jack, Jack, please, Jack, whispers Liza from the stage. At this moment, everybody in the room knows who is going to buy the pooch. Dog is going home with Jack. Having no fear now themselves of being stuck, several very relieved and happy men set the bidding on fire. Dog is going to set an auction record. With each $100 rise in price, Liza matches it from the stage with a soft, "Please, Jack, please," countered by Jack's almost inaudible rise in bid of $5 at a time. At $1,500, there is a very long pause. Going once, going twice. There's a gasping sob that comes from the stage. And for a paltry $1,505, Jack has just bought himself a dog. Add in the upfront costs and he's only $1,765 into dog. The noble husband is loudly applauded as his ecstatic wife rushes down from the stage with dog in tow and throws her arms around her husband's neck while the excited dog wraps himself around both their legs, and down they all go into the front row of chairs. It is a memorable night for the PTA. These nights, I see Jack out late being walked by the dog. He is the only one strong enough to control it, and Jack hates for his neighbors to see him being dragged along by this, the most expensive damn dog for 100 miles around. Dog has been renamed Marilyn. She is now big enough to plow with. Marilyn may be the dumbest dog in the world because she has been through obedience school twice to no apparent effect. Jack is still stunned. He can't believe this has happened to him. He had it down on paper, number 7. Kids or pets, but not both. However, the inscrutable, enigmatic, fine print in a marriage contract is always open to revision by forces far stronger than a man's ego. Marriage is never a done deal. I say, he got off light. It could have been a pony, or a llama, or God knows, even a pot-bellied pig. It would have been something. It always is.